Hello nail babes and nail friends, welcome back to the channel where I am Miss Nail Struggles herself, and I try to eliminate your nail struggles by trying all the nail things so you don't have to. Today, now look, I'm gonna do my best for this. I really am. If you only knew what my life looked like right now, but I'm gonna still try my best to try to do this 12 days of Christmas, to at least give you 12 videos during the month of December so you can be entertained. So please know we will have a mixture of things. We will have hauls. We're gonna have some nail art demonstrations, because who doesn't want Christmas nails during Christmas or winter nails? Okay, and as well as trying to use some of the products to be able to give you some insight and some knowledge how to use what you have, because guess what? It's no fun buying nail products and then they sitting there because you're just like, I don't know what to do with these things. So I am your, nail fairy godmother at the moment that's going to teach you how to use these things. So guess what we're going to do today? Today, I'm going to use some things from my Young Nails mystery box, and I am going to show you how you prep nails to give them more strength for press-ons, because this is the season. And so let me go ahead and we're going to dive right into the video. All right, nail babes and nail friends. So I have been getting this message, or rather requests, across many of my channels here on the wonderful YouTuber, and I've also gotten this in my YouTube, not my YouTube, but my Facebook NailStruggles Help and Ideas group that I have on Facebook. So I have two channels that are on Facebook. The one is just says NailStruggles, yes, that's me, and then one is a group that says NailStruggles Help and Ideas. If you were to ever go in there and you request to become a part of that group, anytime you have nail problems and different things like that, or you have questions, or you're trying to problem solve about nails, you want to put your questions in there, for the simple fact that there are some people in there that have been doing nails for 40 years who are still hot and banging at some nails, honey. Yes, they are, and they may be able to help you as well as myself. That is the best way to be able to communicate with me, especially when you have questions and concerns, as well as, go ahead and put those trusty things in the comments. But we're gonna go moving right ahead, because you're at this video because you might be making press-ons for yourself, or you're trying to sell them and you're like, okay, how do I do this and make these nails even stronger? So inside of my Young Nails mystery box, I did receive this pack of full cover coffin nail tips. So it's the 500 pack that I received in my master box. Now I'm going to show you the nails. I actually think these nails are okay. I mean, like, if you were to see Tracy Ryerson, who is either general manager or general CEO, somebody like that, she's somebody good and important for Young Nails. She actually wore these nails for 3 weeks while still packing boxes and different things like that, showing that they have good strength. They can be a little bit bendy, especially here at the cuticle area, which is not bad, because you want something that's going to help conform to your nail. But one of the questions that I have been getting, let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. But one of the questions that I definitely been getting is, when people are having these nail tips, they want to know, okay, they're like, look here, Miss Nail Struggles. My name is Lena, by the way. Hi, hey, how you doing? Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't. Come back, you're going to want to hear our banter. But they're like, how do I strengthen these tips so that I can either get more long wear out of them, or they won't flex as much, and different things like that? So I'm going to teach you some tips and tricks. I'm going to start from the beginning. So now that you see, these are the white Young Nails full cover coffin nail tips. Let me see if I can pull some other nail tips that I do like out of my collection. Okay. Here are some additional nail tips that I do like to use for making press-ons. These are by McCart. These are coffin shape. They just say Beauty and Salon Nail Art. There are these tips that basically come in individual bags and such that look like this. Nevertheless, these tips are also very, very strong, but for the purposes of this demonstration, I am going to go ahead and use the Young Nails tips. But I will tell you that these nail tips from McCart probably have a little more stiffness to them than the ones from Young Nails. But I don't mind that flexibility from the one from Young Nails, only because, hey, when you're trying to flex it around to your cuticle and get that nail tip to fit, you want to be able to make sure that it fits good and that you can flex it where you need to. So we're starting from the beginning. We have our nail tips. I'm going to show you these things here. These are called Zots. These are the 3D Zots. This is what I use to hold my nail tips on my little nail stands here, okay? But as you see, they come on these little strips, and I actually take a set of scissors and I cut these in half. I take them off, I just kind of peel them off the paper as such, and then I cut them in half. They are truly very, very sticky, as you see from right here, okay? And I cut them in half. That's how I get a lot of wear out of these when I'm trying to make tips or for demonstrations. And that, if you don't catch me over on Instagram, you can. I have been doing some nail demonstrations for the nail company Medusa Nails, and so you can also catch me on IG at times, and most of the times I've been on there on Mondays whenever I am a, you know, guest artist for Medusa. Go me. But see, this is how I go ahead and I attach those. This is also good if you're making press-on nails or you have some nail stands. I have some different nail stands in that coming, but they are not here yet, so that I can show you some of the better ways that I use to attach nails in order for me to be able to, you know, put them together, make demonstrations and stuff, because usually I'm using this thing right here, but they don't stay on these stands very good. But anywho, we have our nail. Now, the first thing that you are going to want to do, you want to make this nail stronger. So here I'm going to show you some options, and then I'm going to show you the things that you need to do in order to make these stronger. So these are nail tips, and if you see, they are shiny. The thing about trying to make these more stronger is that you usually have to add some type of hardener or hard gel or that, or, you know, some type of soft gel that you can soak off over the top in order to strengthen these nails without making them so bulky but still have enough strength. So let's go ahead and show you some options of things that I'm going to tell you to use, okay? The first thing, this is Jimmy Gel from Light Elegance. Now, you do have to be licensed to purchase this. Usually, I believe Skyline Beauty Supply online will sell this to you without a license, but you will not be able to get it directly from Light Elegance. But this is a Jimmy Gel. This Jimmy Gel is a soak-off builder in a bottle. So it's basically a soak-off gel, basically like a soak-off hard gel in a bottle, basically, okay? So this is a great option. The reason that I like this is because it does come with a little brush on the inside. It is primarily thick, but it makes it easy for you to be able to kind of paint on and polish a thin layer of hard gel to your nails. Another option that you can use, I actually use this Light Elegance One Step. Now this is a hard gel, okay? This is gonna have a lot less flexibility in that than this Jimmy Gel, but this goes on very, very thinly. So let me show you. Let me see if I can go ahead and grab a tool here. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna open this, and hopefully you can see from the side that this stuff kind of has good flowability to it, okay? Which means if you try to paint it onto the nail in a very thin coat, you absolutely can. I really love this stuff. It dries, it cures extremely clear, and it's actually one of my favorite hard gels for encapsulation. Another option of something you're going to use that we are actually going to use today is the Young Nails Manicure Fiber Gel with Keratin. If you don't know about Manicure Gel, this one, it happens to be in a bottle. They actually have a Manicure top and base and a Manicure in a jar from Young Nails that actually looks like this. These are also soft gel options, okay? But they are soakable, which means that if you needed to soak them off, if you were able to, you could either structure these and put these on a natural nail, but these will work great for either painting on a thin coat from either out of the bottle. This one happens to be pink, this one happens to be clear, onto a, you know, a press on. That'll help give you a little more structure and strength to your press on, okay? The next option that we have is IBD Hard Gel, okay? Now, you can use this, but I want to warn you that this one is a hard gel. It's going to have less flexibility to it, and I'm going to let you know that it's going to be a little bit harder to, you know, kind of put that thin coat on a nail unless you get it really, really warm, okay? This is one of those hard gels, like, when it's cold, it is thick like honey. It's thick, like she thickums, okay? But you can, if you were to get this warm, and this is your only option, because a lot of times this is available at Sally's, this is available at Amazon, this is more readily available. That is a good hard gel without any type of licensing in that you need. All right, you can also use Mia's Secret hard gel. Again, you are going to need, you know, brushes in that. If you've never seen on my channel, I tend to use these brushes, which is the number 6 Simply Simmons Simply Simmons brushes, Filbert number 6 brushes that I get from Michaels. And I usually buy these brushes. They're usually $2.99. I usually buy them when they're buy one get one 50% off, or I happen to go in there and they're having like 40% off one item. I just go ahead and stock up on these brushes because I usually use them for clear, pink, base, builder. I use them for all different things. So these are the brushes that I use when I'm painting on things, okay? One of we showed you to see me a cigarette Okay, and then one last but not least, one of the options that I will also consider is Flex Gel from Young Nails. Okay, the Flex Gel from Young Nails, it is definitely a much more runny, much more fluid gel that would be able to help you to go ahead and place a thin layer of gel that is on the nails in order to help give it a little more structure and a little more strength. Oh, actually, I do have one more, so please forgive me. I just thought about it, and I was like, oh, that would be a great option if I can find it. And it is. And it is. This was in my mystery box as well. This is the base gel, okay? This will also help give some structure, a little more strength. It's not going to be as hard as some of the other options that I told you about, but this definitely will give you some structure and strength, and it also has a fluidity. Let's go ahead and open that. So, now hard gel, if you don't know, can be a little bit messy. So if you look, it runs, okay? And it's running pretty fast. And so with it being running, and my studio isn't even super warm in here. And if this were to get warmer, this would be even more fluid. This would be very easy for you to, kind of paint onto your tip and then let it settle out in order to give you, a very thin base layer to start from and to be able to work from. So there are the options. Now let's go into the tutorial. Alrighty beauties, we are continuing on with this here thing, and I only have this piece of paper towel in order to catch a little dust, okay? A little dust, a little poo, okay? We don't want that everywhere. So what I'm going to take now is I have this is a Pro Stick nail buffer, and all you're going to need to do from this point is you're going to take your tips and you're going to give them a buff, okay? One of the reasons you want to give them a buff is so that you don't have a shiny surface. Really, gel doesn't too much like to stick to a shiny surface, and this is one of the reasons why press-ons are so expensive. They are very labor intensive. Now there are some people, yeah, they go right in and they paint and do other kind of stuff, but you will also notice that there are some people, if they don't take this extra step to buff off the shine and things off of the nail tip, you will see customers complaining that the paint peeled off and all kind of stuff. And so for those of you that are like, oh, I don't pay more than $5.99, $7.99 for tips, and trust me, we can tell the difference between your $5.99 and $7.99 press-ons versus maybe the $70 or $80 set of press-ons that were made with a lot of labor and love through these people that are in these individual press-on stores and different things like that. There's a lot of things that you have to do. So you want to make sure that you give your tips a good buff. As you see, I'm buffing. I'm still buffing, okay? This is just hand buffing, and I also take off the little tab in the front, but you can also do this with an e-file, okay? Typically, I'll be honest with you, I do this with an e-file, but I show you both ways because if you don't have an e-file, to just literally just turn on and zoom, and maybe you're starting out and you're trying to build your little press-on store. Maybe all you have is a hand file. Well, just like in nails, you need to know how to do things every single way so that if something happens, you always know, you can always put out and produce a killer set of nails, okay? So we've already buffed the nail and pretty much got all of the shine off. This is just me hand doing it, okay? But like I said, typically I would have done this with my e-file, and typically doing this with a medium sanding band. That's about 150 grit. Some good sanding bands, you can find Pana on Amazon. You can get maybe 100 for like $6 or $7.99. My actual favorites actually come from both Young Nails and Profiles Backstage. The ones from Profiles Backstage are significantly more expensive, but I like them better when I'm working on my clients. They don't, if you look at this, I'm gonna bring this in. You can see how it looks like a lot of the grit has worn off. That's what these from Young Nails do. I kind of don't like that. The ones from Profiles Backstage do not do this, but they are also like 50% more than the ones that I get from Young Nails. All right, so now that we have our shine off of our nail tip, and we did this by hand. Like I said, you don't have to do this by hand, but if this is all you got and you're trying to make yourself a beautiful set of press-ons for the holiday season, you can do that. The next thing you want to do is that you want to take a scrub brush and you want to get rid of all that dust, okay? Dust is going to be your enemy when you are trying to put on hard gels or even gel polish. How many times, if those of you that use gel, you already know, you have painted stuff on and then you like, hold up, I see a piece of lint or I see a piece of dust in there. Dang you, dirt and dust ball lintization. You're messing up stuff. So I have two different tips I'm gonna show you. So I have the Jimmy Gel here, but I do know a lot of you don't have access to this. This is from like Elegance. This is a soak off hard gel in a bottle. Basically, you know, I love this stuff. It does work very well because it is a soak off, and you can also put this on top of gel polish if you're trying to embed or encase things. But this is not readily available because you do usually have to have a license. But one thing you can get that we're gonna work on today is using the Manicure Fiber Gel with Keratin. Now, this is the one from Young Nails. This actually has a bit of a soft pink tint. Okay, you can see that. So we're gonna go ahead, and as you're gonna see here, I'm going to put on and brush on a very thin coat, a very, very thin coat. And even though this has a pink tint to it, you know, make sure you always brush off one side of the brush so that you don't have too much product on there. It doesn't really come off too much of a pink tint. Okay, so there we have that, and I like to let my gels, whatever they're on, I let them sit for a couple of seconds because it just kind of levels things out. You'll notice that when you're polishing nails, don't just polish your nail and then shove your nail, you know, in to be cured. You definitely need to make sure that you are allowing the gel to settle, because even gel polish, sometimes just letting it sit for 10 or 15 seconds before, or you put it in the lamp, will sometimes let the brush strokes level out. So I have one of these, you know, very fancy doohickeys. This is the Asperta Curing Light. I actually got this from Nails by Sarah Detroit on Instagram. Her store is called Express Claws, and I'll make sure I put it across the screen. Express Claws. This light, I love this thing because it kind of cures anything within about 10 seconds. So, and I mean, I have literally had no problem with this. This is better than the $2 lights that you will buy on Amazon. This light is definitely more directed. It cures pretty much any gel and anything else in about 10 seconds. So there you go. So you went from having, so I'm gonna get a nail tip out so I can kind of show you the difference. So when you first get your nail tip, you see here from the side, I'm gonna put this in here so we can see this. You see you have like this flexibility in that's there. So this does have a sticky inhibition layer, so I'm gonna actually wipe it off because I don't want to give myself exposure allergies from touching, you know, uncured product or reserved for product that's been exposed to oxygen, because that's what an inhibition layer is basically the layer that's been exposed to oxygen. Okay, I don't want to touch that sticky layer and get that product all over my hand. All right, so once you have put your gel on there, you will notice you have a little bit, there's a little bit more strength to the nail because of that hard gel, because of, I'm sorry, this soft gel that you would put on there. So it gives a little bit of strength. You can put as many coats as you want on here based on the way you want the rigidity of the nail to be. Basically how flexible you want it to be. If you don't really want it to flex that much, polish on, you know, in this case I'm going to put on another thin layer of the Manicure with fiber gel. You know, in this case this one is pink, but if you have, you know, if you're putting different color in that on this does give a bit of a pink tint to the tip. So this is not what you are trying to do. You probably want to use something that is clear. I'm gonna let that settle out for a couple of seconds, and I'm gonna show you how the Jimmy Gel responds. This is Jimmy Gel. This is Jimmy Gel. This is the clear one. Jimmy Gel actually comes in 4 different, I think 5 different colors now, but the clear is always my favorite. And this just gave the tip basically a little more strength, and all I did was put the clear Jimmy Gel on here. And if I wanted more rigidity and didn't want the nail to flex some more, hey, just go ahead and put some more to put another layer of the gel on the fingernail. All right, so we're gonna cure this, okay, because we want to get to the end of this. All right, so this is what makes making press-ons very laborious. And if you want a good quality press-on, you also have to start with a good quality nail tip. But these is also for those of you, if you don't have a good quality nail tip or something flexy, or even if you have a good quality tip, you're like, really a little more, you know, strength to them, because, you know, some of y'all know y'all get into fights. You know you're not supposed to be getting into fights, okay? We know you get into fights, you thinking them nails about to hold up in that fight. Girl, you better go find your nail tip on the street and you better glue it back on when you're done pulling out your Yonda's hair, okay? All right. Now that we got that out the way, so we have here on the right, we have the Young Nails Manicure what is that? Sorry, Manicure Fiber Gel with Keratin, and on the left we have the Jimmy Gel, which is extremely clear. You can see the pink tint here versus the clear tint here. But I I have just shown you all how to add some strength to your press-on nails in your journey before you all are going ahead and making these press-on nails for said holiday season, because it's here. Maybe you don't have a personal nail tech, or maybe your budget is not allowing you press-ons that cost $10, but maybe you're trying to make your own. So these are some of the options. I've shown you all the gels, honey. I've shown you a lot of different things. I've shown you from the price point of Me a Secret, which I think this stuff might be $10, all the way up to one of the most expensive options, which is from the Lexi line of Light Elegance. For those people who are professional, you can use the one-step gel. You can brush that on with the Michaels brush, or you can buy the Young Nails manicure with fiber gel, or even using the Light Elegance Jimmy gel. I have given you all lots of options. You cannot say that I did not fit everybody's price point. I really did try to, up to IBD. Use whatever you have in your arsenal, or whatever you can afford, darling. Use what you got. Nevertheless, you all have learned something new today. And if you liked what you learned, go and hit that subscribe button. Maybe it's something else you want me to, do something for you, a video or something like that. Tell me in the comments. I love hearing you all suggestions. Anywho, don't be talking about my ashy hands and my fingernails need to be done. Your mama. Life is too short to wear boring nails, so don't.